Most people don't realize they're falling behind until it's too late. You turn 30 and suddenly you're out of shape, you're stuck in a job you hate, in debt, lonely, and wondering what the hell happened. But it doesn't have to be this way. In this video, I'm breaking down the 12 things you must do before turning 30 in order to get ahead and build a life you don't want to escape from, where you're healthy, doing well financially, socially, and more. If you're in your 20s and you feel like time's slipping away, this is your wake-up call. Your 20s are not a waiting room. They're your training ground for the rest of your life, and you need to act like it. Before getting into the actual list, I want to start with a quick call for urgency. Like, obviously, with all these things we're going to talk about, you can always come back and play catch up and get on top of it in your 30s or your 40s. Like, plenty of people figure it out later in life. But it's just so much easier to get on top of all these things in your 20s with virtually everything: money, health, careers, relationships. If you start earlier, it just gives you more time to win. Compound interest isn't just for money. Let's get right into it. The first thing on this list that you need to do, because if you don't do this, all other things might fall apart, and this is one of the easiest things to skip, is build a fitness habit. Not just for looks, but for discipline and health. A healthy body becomes your foundation for everything else. As you enter your 30s, you want to have your weight under control, you want to have good strength and more. Otherwise, you'll just be fighting an uphill battle for the rest of your life. According to a study published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology, people who were in good cardiovascular health in their 20s were 5x more likely to stay healthy in their 50s and beyond compared to those with poor habits early on. So the metaphor here is, think of your body like compound interest. The early investment in it pays off. You get healthy once and you stay healthy forever. If you wait, the uphill climb is brutal. You don't need to be jacked. You just need a little bit of discipline. Go to the gym or go on a run at least 3 to 4 times a week. I totally neglected my fitness routine many times in my late teens, early 20s, especially in college. And even now when I'm traveling, it can be hard. But it makes such a big difference in not only my physical health, but my mental health when I'm committed to an exercise routine. Sometimes a run can just clear my brain and helps me return to work with a fresh mind. To maintain good cardio health, I aim to run at least 1 half marathon per year, or at least a few 10Ks, and then I maintain a solid bench press, and I always try to be able to do pull-ups. So find something that works for you and don't neglect it. The next thing you should really do in your 20s is get ahead in your investing journey. So here's a few money goals that you should have done by the time you've turned 30. Number 1, automated investing. So have some sort of consistent investing set up so that every time you get paid, you get a little bit of money deposited into your investment accounts every month. Number 2 is, it's ideal to have at least 1x of your salary, ideally more, saved by the time you hit 30. You should also be taking advantage of tax-advantaged accounts like 401ks, Roth IRAs, in order to keep more of your money wherever possible. You also should really know where your money goes and calculate your budget. How much does it cost to keep you alive? What's your cost of living? That pretty much is the basis for everything else. And finally, you should have paid off most debt by the time you turn 30, maybe with the exception of a house. Obviously, paying off a whole house in your 20s is asking a lot. But if you've accomplished all of these, or at least most of them, you're in great shape to have financial freedom later in your life. If you don't, you might get into the job trap where you have too many loans and bad credit, and it's just way harder to escape out of that. So learn budgeting, learn investing, say no to lifestyle creep, because one good financial decision or one good couple of years can buy financial freedom forever. I knocked out a lot of these items and couldn't be happier that I took money seriously in my 20s, because it gives me so much peace of mind and so many options of what I can do with my life. So it's just, I'm so happy I did this. It's literally going to help me for the rest of my life. The third thing that you should do before 30 is develop valuable and employable skills. By the time you turn 30, it's ideal to have mastered at least one high-value skill that you'll have for years and decades to come. Hopefully by now you've spent at least 5 to 10 years of doing something, some career. Some of you may have traction in your career by now. Maybe you even jumped around between careers, and that's fine too, as long as you were learning and evolving as time went on. A lot of these skills I learned through experiences. Some of these are kind of independent, or some are learned through interacting and working with people. But I'm going to leave some skills on the screen that you should be looking into, both for the digital age and just other more general skills as well. Always focus on learning in your 20s. And when you're not learning skills, try to learn from successful people. Study what they do, either through reading about them or talk to people you know who've done something you'd be interested in. You always got to be curious about how you can change your life. This next one, and this is one that I picked up much later in my 20s, but I wish I started sooner, is start a side hustle. It has practical reasons, because having one source of income is risky nowadays with all the layoffs, but also the learning side of it. A YouTube channel, business, blog, or whatever you're starting, learn to take that shot and learn from the mistakes. It'll teach you marketing, sales, product, risk, better than any school degree, if you ask me. And if it all works out, there's so much opportunity here. My life has basically become a series of many side hustles all combined into one. It can be extra money, could turn into your career, help you meet people, and more. So I highly recommend starting a side hustle in your 20s. Number 5 on this list is you need to seek out discomfort. Do something hard on purpose. It could be finally moving out, it could be trying a new skill or a hobby, or going on a solo trip to another country. It teaches you self-reliance, inner strength, and how to be your own best company. You need to learn how to be alone. You could also do more radical things. You could completely move to a new city. You could quit your job and take a leap and start a business. Your 20s should be for risk, not safety. It's probably the easiest time in your life that you can get away with big risks. I was used to playing life pretty safe in my early 20s, and then the last 2 years or so, I really chased discomfort, and it's kind of made me into a different person. I've done plenty of travel, living elsewhere. I've started new adventures. I left my job. I mean, I really do have stories and experiences now for the rest of my life because of this. Your 20s are for figuring out your identity and trying things out. And you can't find it by staying in your comfort zone. So if you always choose the safe path, you're going to fall behind. The next item, and this is an important one, is get used to saying no to things. Early in my 20s, I kind of just went along with things passively just because it was normal to do that, or because my friends really wanted to, even if I didn't. Later on, I had enough. I was getting burnt out, so now if something didn't suit me or if I wasn't interested, I just started saying no, and it changed my life. This can have many different forms. It could be a small thing like saying no to more invites or destructive habits. Like if I go to something now, it's because I truly want to be there, not because I have to be there. Or this could be bigger things like cutting out a toxic relationship or friendship or even a family member who's really not good for you. Set the standard now for how you expect to be treated. This could be negotiating with your boss at work or forcing them to recognize your value, saying no to their salary offer, even leaving your job or just switching out of a toxic situation entirely. You're going to learn your worth by saying no, and you'll see that life goes on, and it builds courage. You're going to start saying no to more and more things that don't help you. And by doing this, you also figure out your core values and what you want to do with life. So say no to things, know what actually matters to you, and you'll say no to more noise, and then you'll start learning how to say yes to the right things. The next thing you need to do is get comfortable failing and get comfortable in rejection, because it's going to give you tough skin. It's going to weaken your ego and make you less afraid, and you're going to learn from each one. This is why sales guys develop such good personal skills. They're just used to being rejected. I remember at my old job, there used to be a conference for the sales guys that I would weasel my way into sometimes. And despite many of the guys there not being attractive or tall, lots of the sales guys had the hottest wives. And in my mind, it's because they're truly not afraid of rejection. They probably went through so many rejections to get to that point. And money, I'm sure, helps too. But getting comfortable with this will help you everywhere in life. Take on that one big thing or project that you really want to work, but you know it might fail, and tell people you're doing it. Post the video, pitch that client, and risk the total embarrassment. Even if it fails, which for many things is inevitable, you'll become fearless and you'll learn from these failures. And each one's a big lesson to take to the next at-bat. That's why I'm posting my income and my journey to hold myself accountable and not care about failures. My business failure in college taught me a lot about how to run social media, track money better, and more. And that contributes to my successes now. So go out there and fail, kill your ego, but gain the toughness. The next one is really important for winning your day-to-day, and that's to build a discipline system. Let's be honest, motivation comes and goes, but systems and discipline stays. So create routines that carry you when you don't feel like showing up. Like good habits are best to form when young and harder to break when you get older. In your 20s, you need to stop relying on inspiration or watching motivational YouTube videos to go get things done, because some days you're just going to be tired, distracted, or overwhelmed. And the only thing that saves you is the system you built when you had the energy. And the world now is just noisier than ever. Like if you don't build structure, you're going to drown in distraction. You're going to get home and scroll away on social media, wondering where your life went. You got to build habits like a morning routine, for example, one that grounds you. For me, it's a coffee, it's going for a walk right around lunch, and then maybe a workout in the afternoon to boost my energy again. You need to create a digital environment that helps you focus. Like for me, I try to only have tabs open that I know I need for the current task at hand. I also try to build friction around bad habits, like putting the phone down before bed and not scrolling in the morning when I wake up. You got to try things like that. Discipline is just freedom in disguise. In your 30s, you're either going to prove that or punish the lack of it. The next one is easy to neglect, but is crucial to happiness and success. Life is really about the people you experience it with. Don't let friendships go. Reach out to people. Know how to be a good friend. Be the guy that makes plans and gets things started. For me, I like to throw a party a year. And when I come home, I like to go out and see everyone that I haven't seen in a while. In your 20s, you're probably going to lose and move on from many people. And that's okay, but make sure you're not losing good people for your life either. I mean, even a small text goes a long way. Hey, how you doing? What have you been up to? The happiness standpoint is one thing, but in a business sense, this is important too. The more people you know, the more potential opportunities you have. I've gotten a few jobs via referral with someone I knew, or even clients from people that I went to school with or met here on YouTube. Get to know people because it's really only going to help you. Now we're getting to number 10, and this is a topic that's confused many men for decades. So the thing you should do before 30 is get your reps in with relationships and then take them seriously. Understanding women is a big question that men have been asking for their entire lives, and the only way to gain somewhat of an understanding is to get out there, ask people on dates, and not be afraid of rejection. Dating's really a skill, and it can be used to explore, make mistakes, learn how to communicate, and learn what you like in a partner. And one of my first videos that took off on this channel that I still believe in is that dating's important. You got to get your reps in here. You got to understand what you want in a partner and how to act in a relationship. Then especially in your mid to late 20s, start taking it seriously. Don't just date the hot chicks. Like many people, late teens, early 20s, everything's super casual. You just try to find the hottest people you can and it's whatever. But then eventually start dating seriously. Look for your wife. Look for values, how she behaves, that she'd be a good mom to kids and a good person to spend your life with. Spend 1,000 dinners with, like stuff like that. Don't look for superficial people. Ideally, your experience in dating will just make this easier over time too. You don't want to be someone who gets to 30 with no dating experience if possible, because that could be a turnoff for a lot of people if you don't have a good reason for what you've been doing all your 20s. So get out there, ask people on dates, fail, and you'll learn from it. The next one is a deeply important one, and that's keep strong connections with your family. By the time you're 30, you're likely on your last grandparents if you even have them at all anymore. Your parents are aging and life speeds up. You got to call your parents. You got to, ask your grandparents questions about life because time's a thief, and as much as we don't want to let it win, it always wins in the long run. So before it's too late, get close with your family. You won't regret spending time with them, but you might regret not doing it. Mortality's kind of a bitch. Losing my grandparents changed me. Like now, I view everything as temporary. I try to enjoy time with my family and live in the moment, knowing that, as we grow up, it might be harder to, we'll see them less and less and nobody's around forever. Plan things with people, communicate with people, because time just moves too damn fast. So the final thing you have to do before turning 30, and the one I'm going to leave us with today, is to seek deep connection to your work, your relationships and family, and your creator. If your life is only about you, it's going to feel empty fast. The people who win long term aren't just chasing money or fame or pleasure. They're like connected. They're connected to their work, their family, their relationships. They're almost connected to something deeper that keeps them going during hard times. Usually it's because they're building something that outlives them. They want to leave a legacy and something that impacts the world in a positive way. Whether that's having a family, starting a business, being a valuable member of your community that can help out a lot, or just having a message that lives after you're gone, purpose is really the thing that's strong enough to carry you through those dark times. So don't wait until your 30s to figure that out. Start looking now. Find some people in your life to experience it with, help someone who can't repay you, and create something that matters, even if nobody's watching. You never know what's going to happen. So I'll leave you with this. You're not behind, but you will be if you keep waiting. You don't need to have it all figured out by 30. You just need to begin building something real with your body, your finances, your relationships, just your character in general. Your 20s aren't a waiting room where life is just going to happen to you. They're the training ground for the rest of your life. Because by the time you wake up and realize how fast time flies, you'll either be thankful that you started or wishing that you had. So start. Right now, even if it's messy, even if you're late, start becoming the person your future self won't be able to thank you enough for. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.